Now, it's been 18 years since the arms deal corruption charges were opened against former President Jacob Zuma. This week also saw his private prosecution against prosecutor Billy Downer and journalist Karyn Maughan being dismissed with costs. Newzroom Afrika's Ahmed Kajee takes a look at Zuma's court events since 2005.
Former President Jacob Zuma's legal battles have been ongoing for nearly 2 decades, with the arms deal the priority case defining his political career. His court battles began in 2005 when corruption charges were opened. The matter was set to begin in 2006 in the Pietermaritzburg High Court, while he was still the country's deputy president. The case was struck off the court roll in September 2006, with Zuma's former financial advisor Shabir Sheikh being released on medical parole 3 years later. In 2009, former acting head of the National Prosecuting Authority, Advocate Mokotedi Mshe, withdrew all the corruption charges against Zuma before he was sworn in as state president. 7 years later, and well into Zuma's second term in office, the North Gauteng High Court ruled the decision to withdraw charges was irrational and should be set aside. Zuma's appeal of this ruling in 2017 was rejected with costs, and after his resignation from office the following year, the charges were reinstated. In June 2018, Zuma's co-accused in the arms deal matter, the French arms manufacturer Thales, launched a court bid to have the charges against it dropped. Zuma's lawyers asked for more time to study representations brought by Thales. And after numerous delays, the case began in earnest in May 2019, 14 years after the charges were initially laid. In October 2019, the former president applied for a permanent stay of prosecution, which was dismissed by the court. The matter was moved again to February 2020 amid Zuma's legal team's decision to appeal. In February of that year, he missed a court appearance, prompting Judge Daya Pillay to issue an arrest warrant for the former statesman. The warrant was stayed until May 2020, when Zuma was set to make his next appearance. A sick note from a military hospital where Zuma was treated was received, but Judge Pillay said it was riddled with inconsistencies. In that very month, the matter was postponed again to June, citing COVID-19 restrictions. After numerous postponements, in July of 2021, Zuma's legal team called for the removal of lead arms deal prosecutor Billy Downer. At the same time, Zuma's lawyers called for another postponement, claiming unrest and COVID-19 restrictions had prevented them from meeting with him. In August of 2021, the case was postponed until September on medical grounds after Zuma fell ill. During that time, Zuma's lawyer made a case for Downer's removal, alleging that he leaked their client's medical records to a third party. In October 2021, Judge Piet Koen of the Pietermaritzburg High Court dismissed Zuma's plea for Downer to be removed from the case. Hours before Zuma was expected to attend his trial on the 11th of April 2022, he announced that he was pursuing a private prosecution against Advocate Downer. Judge Koen postponed the matter until at least the end of May 2022. In June of that year, Zuma announced that he will be also pursuing legal action against News24 journalist Karyn Maughan as an alleged accomplice to receiving his medical records from Advocate Downer. The case was postponed from October last year to February this year. In March of 2023, Downer and Maughan argued that the private prosecution against them is an abuse of court processes. Fast forward to earlier this week, Zuma's private prosecution was dismissed with cost and has been restrained from taking further legal steps against Maughan and Downer. The 81-year-old statesman is set to appeal the private prosecuting ruling 18 years after the first arms deal charge was laid.
We can't have certain people that are going to get privileged information under the guise of a media freedom. This is just a barbaric. You can't have a situation like this. So indeed, this is going to be appealed on an urgent basis because it's riddled with errors in law.
For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ahmed Kajee.